One of the most popular yet polarizing books of the last 50 or so years gets a big screen treatment, and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, written and directed by Kelly Fremont Craig, who did The Edge of 17. Heard that's good, need to go check it out. And yes, based on the very, very popular book by Judy Blume. A book so popular that the people who love it really, really love it. And then you have the shrieking pearl clutchers who are absolutely upset that it dares to talk about menstruation and periods and puberty and giving a woman the right to choose her religion. A woman having the right to choose. God, what has this world come to? Let women just be women. Let people have that freedom. Just fucking let it happen. Get your nose out of the goddamn storybooks that you guys are so invested in. Just let women choose things. Anyway, this takes place in 1970 and centers around, wait for it, mind-blowing fact here, a girl named Margaret, who's 11, going on 12. Her life is uprooted when her family moves from New York City down to, well, New Jersey, where her dad Herb gets a brand new job, and I really don't have a way to continue to rhyme that song. If you guys get that reference, I love you guys. So, yes, her dad, Herb. Sorry, can't help but hear the riff tracks. Ator, the Fighting Eagle thing. Herbs. But anyway, Benny Softy, who I've seen him in stuff before, and I really need to go check out more of his stuff because he was good in this. He is married to Barbara Simon. Rachel McAdams is old enough to be a mother. Time is a goddamn flat circle. Soon we will either be in the ground or we will be ash and we will be in an urn on the mantle where the cat can knock it over. And goddamn it, the cat knocked over Grandpa again. But before we get to that, let's talk about Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. So that's basically the plot, because Margaret is going through some changes. She's kind of torn between two religions because her dad is Jewish. Her mother was raised Christian, but they don't ask her to, put herself in any religious box. Choose your own way. Because they understand the whole point of being religious and having a religion. If you want to, great. If you don't, also great. Be you. That's what more people should encourage your kids to do. Don't put them in a goddamn box. Teach them how to be a good goddamn person. There's going to be a few swears in here because I don't give a shit because I'm not religious. Also, again, let's let women be who they want to be and choose how they want to be. So, yes, Margaret is not sure how she's going to fit in. She's very torn, especially being away from her grandma, played by Kathy Bates, who is a delight. Kathy Bates is fucking delightful in this. She doesn't get a lot of screen time, but when she does, she makes the most of it. Shortly after the move, it's a line that's in the trailer. It's something along the lines of, they're asking on the phone, oh, how are you? Well, when they say you have no loved ones around you, your life expectancy drops dramatically, but it's okay. I've had a good run. Because Kathy Bates' character is very, very Jewish. Kathy Bates being a Jewish mother is very humorous, yet very guilt-ridden, and she plays it up to the hilt. Sign me the fuck up, and I'm going to say right now, getting far enough into the review, this is good. This is very good. In fact, it's great. I pretty much was having a great time watching this. It's about adolescence and told in a way where young girls can appreciate it because it's really timeless how girls will go through, various changes in life. They will hit puberty. Some hit puberty way early. There are some I knew in school that hit when they were 9. There were some I knew also in later years in school that didn't hit till they were 14. These things happen. They shouldn't be made fun of. Let people be who they are. Anyway, Margaret is played by Abby Ryder Fortson. Apologies for getting that name wrong. She's done some media, and she plays the titular character, Margaret. And when it comes to children actors, you either get ones, they're good to great to fucking incredible. You get ones that are okay, but you could have taken or left that character. Or you get the other category that's like the little boy that was in A Wrinkle in Time, who I'm sure tried, but no, that's the best example I can come up with. Or kids in a lot of horror movies. This isn't a horror movie, unless you consider talking about menstruation, puberty, and changes in life. Horrible. And letting women choose, or little girls choose, what religion they want to be, if they want to be a religion. So yeah, you don't get hit over the head with religion here. Because Margaret Make some friends in school, including Nancy Wheeler, Elle Graham, who I do have to say plays the really good bitch girl. Well, yes, there's a bitch girl. Nah, 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 nah. And also because Margaret she hasn't hit her period yet. She's not sure she should get a bra because she's not sure. She hasn't really hit that stride yet. But she meets Nancy right away. They end up, having a good camaraderie, but Nancy's also a bitch and has them in a secret club, and they all have to share things, and they all have to do this. And then Margaret, talks to her teacher. Her teacher basically comes up with the whole thing. Hey, we're going to do a project. We're going to do a year-long project on something that's important to you. Year-long project. Write about something. I don't care. He then talks to Margaret and says, hey, you mentioned about religion, that you don't really like religious holidays. Well, I don't really celebrate them. And then she explains this. Dad's Jewish, mom's Christian. And then she finds out more information about her parents, about backgrounds, goes to various religious, various religious buildings, I suppose. Learns more about herself. Learns not maybe to give in to peer pressure and maybe to understand that everybody is different. And from there, we have a coming-of-age movie. Maybe one that we've seen in some form or another, because coming-of-age movies can only be done in so many different ways before you're kind of hitting the same beats, same strides, whatever. But this was great. Kelly Fremon Craig did a great job here. A great job. I do need to check out The Edge of 17. I don't know if Judy Blume was happy about the adaptation here. I would hope so, because I read the book years ago in school. I cannot quote chapter and verse. I can barely quote much of anything because it's been years. I've been out of school for years and years. But it definitely was something that I do remember being a bit eye-opening, where I'm like, oh boy, that was certainly something. But this was a very good, it's just a great movie overall. Great acting. It doesn't dwell on something way too long without having a reason for it. Like, yes, she wants to hit her period. She wants to do all this. She wants to have everybody get along. She constantly says, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I try to do good, and I want to have these things that other people have, and I see how some people are reacting, and I see how other people are reacting. I want this too. Why can't I have this? Because she just wants to grow up and become a woman. And it just ends up being really, really good. Again, Abby Ryder Fortson does a really, really good job. She's going to have a bright future. She wants to stick with this. This is a hell of a goddamn big role to land. And with $30 million invested in, I really do hope that this movie, I'm not going to say it's going to smash box office records. I just hope it does well. I hope it doesn't flop, because I would like to see more book adaptations being given love and nurturing and good stuff to them. This was actually really, really goddamn well done. Great acting. The music, I'm thinking, and I enjoyed the music, but I swear there were a few songs, since it takes place in 1970 and 71, there were a few songs I think that came out a little bit after those years. Maybe, maybe not. I haven't been able to find out any information on the songs that they used, and unfortunately I wasn't able to transcribe them because I couldn't, memorize them that fast. But there are a few I think that were past that. This is quite good, though. Check it out, especially if you have kids and you're worried about having the birds and the bees talk. Go watch it. It's very, very good. And if you're religious, maybe watch this, and then you'll realize that you don't have to be a dick, and you can let your kids be who they want to be. They can grow and be a good person, like the holy books are supposed to tell you you're supposed to be, instead of punching people in the head until they just are part of a cult, hence that shirt. So yeah, check it out in theaters. Hopefully it does well. I'm going to get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay. So she ends up liking Nancy's brother, who's, I think they're around the same age. I think there's that 11 to 12-year-old range. The secret club involves them talking about the boys they like, and if they get their period, they got to tell the other person what happened. And then that stuff starts happening gradually. One girl gets it. Margaret wants to get a bra, but it's like the one that grows with you, because she has not developed yet, and that's the same with 3 girls that are in this particular group. And then there's a nerdy boy that invites them to their party, or to his party, and they play a game of spin the bottle. This one boy that Nancy happens to like, that all the other girls in the group like. And in Margaret, she likes Nancy's brother, but, this boy, oh, he's so cute, he's so dreamy. He ends up, they have that 2 minutes in the closet, or, a few minutes in the closet. 7 minutes of heaven, I think, is one other variation of it. Really, really awkward. Really awkward, especially when you're not sure who you get locked in there with. Nevertheless, enough about my life. They end up, being closed in the closet. He kisses her a couple times, and she's all elated. Before this, she visits her grandma. She goes to temple because the grandma's Jewish. She enjoyed it, but she wasn't quite sure what they were saying, and she's trying to figure out this religious experience. She's trying to figure out this and these various religions and study up on this. She goes to a very, very, very black church where one of the girls in the group is black and actually very, very boisterous. I've been in a few. They provide that energy. You will leave feeling energized, even if you're not religious. They absolutely will just smash it, because when they invest, oh boy, it's great shit. It's great shit. I went to a Catholic, it was Catholic. Whew, a lot of energy. Great people, by the way. She also asked her mom, why haven't we met, your parents? Why haven't we know dad's mother, we know grandma, why haven't we met your parents? Her parents basically are super religious, Christian. If she was going to marry a Jewish guy, she was out of the family. That's pretty much it. And then during a New Year's, holiday card thing, Barbara sends her parents a card, and they're going to come and visit. The grandma had asked, hey, do you want to come down to Florida and hang out with me? I have a place down here, but I'd love to have you down here. She's romancing with a guy, but she would love to have him down there. And okay, well then Margaret's trip gets canceled because Margaret's all pissed. Margaret notices that everybody in her group is either getting boobs, getting a period. Well, in Nancy's case, she's gotten boobs before she got her period. Puberty's weird. They watched the film during, the whole film about the changing of their bodies. Nancy freaks out getting her period, even though the previous girl didn't. The mother's checking out on, checking her out and everything, making sure she's all right. And then I'm not going to reveal the whole goddamn plot, but there's some good scenes here. Kathy Bates gets some good lines off. And then because Rachel McAdams' parents were going to come visit, because they realized that, you know what, let's try and smooth things over. That was the first mistake. Margaret keeps going, are you there, guys? It's me, Margaret. There's a side plot with this girl that's really, really tall that developed early, started wearing a bra in 4th grade, was made fun of, saying that all the boys would try to sleep with her, feel her up, all this kind of stuff. She would be treated like a hewer, as it were, even though she was just different, and I was wrong. She's Catholic. Margaret was going to confess to the guy, and basically just said to the priest, I did something, but then runs out. She tries to apologize to the girl. She feels really bad. She doesn't want to be friends with Nancy anymore because she's not sure that Nancy's the best influence on her. Gee, do you think, Margaret? Then again, adolescence, it is what it is. The guy playing Herb, Benny, he does a good job. He seems well, and he seems well and endearing. He seems like a pretty good guy. He does a really, really good job that we don't actually know what he does. Rachel McAdams quits her job because he's making so much money and she's going to be a housewife, but she liked to teach art. And then she realizes after doing school activities, she's like, oh shit, I really want to do art. I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to do this PTA stuff or these, groups and be taken advantage of and stuff like that. And also, once the grandparents arrive, Kathy Bates decides to arrive with her new beau. Benjamin rhymes with cinnamon, was a funny line. And the dinner's good. Rachel McAdams, the whole thing about Barbara, she doesn't know how to cook, but then she learns to cook. No-fail pot roast. I think it's a pot roast and a cream and mushroom soup. And I would still find a way to burn that thing down because I'm a lousy cook. That's why I always eat out. That's why it's always good to eat out. Let's move on. Let's move on from this. Let's move on from Rachel McAdams eating out. Let's move on from that. Let's move on from this very weird transition that, or this very weird part I transitioned to. They have this discussion after dinner. Religion gets brought up, and Margaret's seen the good side of religion. And then she sees the bad side, and she's seen all this stuff happen. All this other stuff's happening to her other people. or other people around her, and she just wants people to get along. But she's like, enough, I don't want to, the grandparents are like, well, maybe she wants to be baptized. Kathy Bates automatically assumes, well, no, she went to temple, she's Jewish. It's not how Judaism works. I don't think it is. I think you have to, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think it is. But Margaret just shouts, lets it all out, and just basically says, I'm done. I don't even believe in God. She shouts, and then we get a bit of an epilogue, seemingly, because she's frustrated. She talks to her mom. Her mom's like, I'm sorry. You deserve to be who you want to be. I didn't mean to bring that awkwardness on. And then she turns in her project to her teacher. Teacher's kind of blown away a little bit. Not like the flashback or the vision in A Christmas Story with the Red Ryder BB gun. Remember that stuff? That was hilarious. One thing. She turns it into the teacher, and then they're having the graduation thing because they're going off and graduating and going on to the 7th grade because they're all in the 6th grade. And then Margaret sees the tall girl, dances with her, and then one other member of the group goes and dances, and it's all funny and happy-go-lucky and everything. It's pretty good. And then Margaret's going to go off to camp again, because Margaret had come back from camp to start the movie and then was going to go off to camp. And it seems like her and the brother, Moose, may be able to hang out. Nancy's brother, that is. Too many pronouns, pal. They might be able to hang out, and it's good. It's warm. It's endearing. It's well done. It's well acted. It's a little bit sad at points because you feel bad for Margaret. It's good. Great. A+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ricklin. I'll see you soon.